Well, hello there, and welcome to another Dyrus vlog. Today is Monday, April 28, 2014. Today I'll be talking about the playoffs best of three that we had with C9 and how it turned out to what it is in my point of view. So going into the match, um, before all, the ultimate thing for me was to not go on tilt, and even though I tried my best not to go on tilt, it was a little rough for me because I seem to forget the basics when I play against high caliber teams. Normally I just stay back and play safe all the time, but on Renekton it's a little bit different. So moving into the first match, I picked Lee Sin, and there's some people questioning my Lee Sin pick, and even I question myself on that too. I had a bad early laning phase, but I just never died. Um, Later on in the game, I had split pushing power, and I had map pressure over Trundle, but by then it was already too late. So I picked Lee Sin to have a strong early game and split push power, but I wasn't able to make use of the early game, and we lost before I could even really do much. Um, the one turning point in that game that could have happened was when we were behind and four of them. It was a 4 versus 5 situation. I should have just went in, and we probably would have won that fight because they had Jax or they had Trundle top that one time. And for the game one, I think it was about kind of being scared to engage. I should have been confident enough to just go in. I was tanky enough, and I could have just forced the 4-on-5. So when I said I could have carried, I meant that I could have, we could have had a better chance if I just went at 4-on-5. But that chance only came up because C9 walked at us with 4, and we're just too scared to fight them, which was really bad. Like, we wouldn't let any other team do that against us, but when we play against C9, we usually play a lot worse. And it's not only because we play a lot worse, but it's also because C9's better than every other team, and that's just a fact. Um, Now, going into the second game, this is the game we had the highest chance of winning, the game that I could have easily single-handedly carry. At one point, I was up 50 CS on balls. People may not notice that because the game was just so, I don't know, people don't really watch replays, they kind of just look at the end score. At one point I was 50 up 50 CS on balls. We took 3 of Meteos's buffs, and he was on Elise. That game should have been an automatic win. Like, that game should have been so easily won. Like, even if they were better at rotations, we won our lane so hard that um, it shouldn't have turned out that way. So I'll talk about my mistakes in that game. I threw at least 7 times, actually. I threw so many times. It's unbelievable how many times I threw, and you're going to understand why pretty soon. So I got to lane. I was laning properly. I had my CS lead, and going from there, it was what to do with that lead. I could have called Odd One to come top. I could have just kept my lane and kept trying to deny lane, and the biggest thing was I just needed to call Odd One top. Um, at that point when I had 50 CS and Dragon was like kind of free, I missed my flash. Or actually, wait, the first mistake was high roamed up on me, and Bjergsen called MIA. That was my first throw, because I put Lulu ahead and it put Jax ahead. Then the Meteos gank, I flashed backwards instead of sideways. I could have lived that gank, and we got free Dragon. And then that was when I had 50 CS up on balls against Jax as Renekton. And then after that, I just kept dying over and over. Like, I just constantly kept dying over and over. What I could have done was I could have told Odd One to trail me, and we could have easily 2 versus 2'd them, but I was so focused on my own play that I couldn't see the big picture. I couldn't see like what we need to do as a team to win, and I was just too focused on myself. And That's one of the things I'm going to be working on for the next split. It was just me being selfishly focused on my own play compared to other games where I'd be like trying to look at what I could do. I feel like for top lane in the 3 games that the picks weren't the problem. I feel like the Lee and the Renekton for like the 3 games weren't the problem. I don't think our team comp was weaker at all. I think it was pretty even. I think they just outplayed us and outrotated us. I don't think our picks were weak. People will look for reasons and they don't know why we lost, but I can tell you that one of those reasons is not because of our picks. I could have picked Jax the 3rd game, but it would have made a difference because Balls would pick Renekton and I'd be the one behind 20 CS, and we were already losing rotation, so like there's no way we could get past that late game. So I decided that picking Renekton in 3rd game and being the aggressor was the better thing to do, because that game stayed even for a very, very long time. We couldn't make it take advantage because they had lots of trading power for towers. But yeah, in that 2nd game I died so much. Like I could have easily single-handedly carried that game just by being how fed I was. And people may not see that, but what I saw is I just fucked up really hard. Like, for the 1st game, if Bjergsen blames himself for the 1st game, then I can easily blame myself for that 2nd game. Both games where we were somewhat winning lanes, but the game's not all about laning anymore. It's about rotations and teamwork, and C9 is just that much better for that. So that was it for the first 2 games. I don't know what happened on the other side of the map. For the 3rd game, I didn't really throw as hard as before, but I died under tower top, and I was getting really upset that game. I wasn't completely on tilt, but I was trying my hardest to win, and I was just getting, I was irritated, but I never spoke out of it. But you could probably tell by the tone of my voice I was irritated because I'm Renekton versus Jax. I'm up 20 CS on him, and I want to, abuse their weaker laners because we're winning once again, top and middle. We were winning in lanes by CS, and every time we went to get an objective, they just shifted their weight to the opposite side. They took towers, so we would spend too much resources getting something that should have already been free, and that really upset me. So I didn't know what to do to fix that. It's not something you could fix during a game. It's something you just kind of have to know from watching replays and playing together. But that game, I could already tell that C9 were out rotating us with a weaker early game, because even though I got Jax really low and I was up 20 CS, we sent 2 people top with me and we took top tower and they just took mid tower. That's not the right way to go. It shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't be getting a free mid tower when they're behind top. And from there on, I was pretty irritated throughout the game, and the food's not here. And then the game just played out how it played. That game I could have done better by not dying under turrets. It was obvious. I was really, really stubborn to keep those turrets alive, and I died multiple times under turret. And then the next mistake other than the turrets was well, actually the game was honestly over by then, but I should have had Merc Treads for the last game. So that's kind of it from my point of view. I feel like even though people may see it as a 3-0 stomp, I feel like all of those games were winnable, and it's a lot better. Feeling that way is a lot better than last time where it felt like it was 3-0 stomp and it felt all unwinnable. So I think it's been an improvement. So learning from that, I think that I need to communicate with Audwin more and just like look at how as we can win as a team instead of being really selfish on my own play. Um, so that's it for the 3-0 or the playoffs. And then I'd actually like to mention before that the CLG game when we played against them, like they were looking really strong the first two games, but they just went on tilt the third game. I'd feel like that the CLG best of three could have been anyone's game, where CLG would probably be playing against C9 other than us. Like they, I don't know. I don't. I didn't agree with Nian stepping down, but it's his own decision. Because I don't feel like he played exactly that bad in that series, enough for him to step down. But that's his own decision. But yeah, on the CLG side, I feel like anyone could have won for that game before the best of three or best of five against C9. So moving on from playoffs. I forget what I was going to talk about. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for now. I know some people wanted to wonder what my opinions were on X Special being benched. It's out there now, so I guess I can kind of talk about it. But I'll talk about it next time in the next vlog. Thanks for watching.